So I just want to have a quick run through some things that I've seen on the Sincerely Cinnabun channel, Cinnabun Sundays. Some things that I'm not necessarily fully convinced of. And it's just to put, my side to you and sort of see what you make of it. So there are videos where Morgan says she would like Cinnabun to learn the rules of the household, to fit in, and obviously while living as a free roam rabbit. So Pom, as you know, is a free roam bunny. He has free roam of most of a 4-bedroom house, and I think the issue with that is essentially rabbits are not humans. They are not going to be able to fully behave in the way that you would want them to, or the way that you would fully expect them to all the time. They are essentially wild animals that we're bringing in and domesticating, but they're not always going to be able to stop their natural behaviours and things that come natural to them. So Morgan often describes bunnies as being extremely destructive. I wouldn't say Pom is extremely destructive by any means, and I think that sort of description is only going to serve to put people off free roaming a rabbit, possibly because the amount of destruction that you would worry might come to your home. So yeah, he does chew bedding, holes in the bedding. He does chew holes in the carpet occasionally. I've had clothes with holes in, if he goes in the wardrobe, towels with holes in. But I think the lesson is just to try and be a little bit more chilled out about those natural behaviours. And obviously, do tell them if you catch them doing it that it's wrong, a firm no, perhaps move them from the area, substitute what they're chewing with a toy, cover what they're chewing. And there are ways of dealing with it other than scolding and punishment, as Morgan calls it. So Morgan talks about showing Cinnabun she's unhappy with her chewing furniture, for example. And one of the things she says she does is to stomp on the floor with her hand to mimic a rabbit stomp. The issue with that is that rabbits do stomp to show they're unhappy, but they also stomp to warn of danger. So whilst doing that, you might be alerting to the fact that there's potentially a predator in the room, which might just freak them out. The main thing I have an issue with is a video in which she talks about forms of punishment and punishing Cinnabun for chewing on furniture. Obviously, they are going to chew on things. If they don't have a lot of chew toys, I don't see a lot of chew toys in Morgan's videos. I did see in one video on top of the mahogany litter tray, there was a basket about this big, which she said her chew toys were in, which really she needs a bit more variety of chew toys if that is an issue that's making her chew on the furniture. The issue I had a thing with was the punishment scheme. So Morgan says that if she catches Cinnabun chewing on, I think it's the grey chair that she has, the leg of the grey chair, or a large seagrass looking natural woven basket in the lounge, or other things, she will punish her. And the punishment is to pick her up, put her in a pen, which she says Cinnabun hates. So clearly the rabbit's going to not like the punishment anyway. For chewing on something, she gets put in there for 30 minutes. Seems a little bit excessive a punishment for chewing on a bit of furniture. The question then is raised, well, what happens if Cinnabun chews on furniture 3 times during the day? Is she on time out for an hour and a half in a little pen? Kind of defeats the purpose of free roaming as well. But the punishment just seems a little bit too excessive. There are ways of dealing with it without having to resort to that amount of punishment. The other thing which I had an issue with is Morgan time and again shows in videos bites that have been taken out of this large seagrass, natural looking woven basket in the lounge. Now, a lot of the rabbit toys that I get for Pom are made of seagrass, are made of natural woven materials. We get them rugs that are made of natural woven materials so you can dig them. That is essentially inviting a rabbit to chew on and inviting a rabbit to bite on. So to then punish them for doing it just seems a little bit too excessive to me. I mean, to me, that is like saying to a child, I have this big, that's a rabbit and it's that size, massive milk chocolate vase to my child. If I had a 3-year-old, he's now 12, but when he was younger, to say to him, massive milk chocolate vase coated in honeycomb with marshmallows on, but You know, if I'm out of the room, you can't nibble it, you can't chew it, you can't lick it, you basically can't go near it, or you'll get punished, not even in a room, you'll get locked in the cupboard under the stairs for half an hour, if that's equivalent for a child. It just seems a little bit extreme, in my opinion, a punishment for a rabbit for biting furniture, who may or may not have enough chew toys. You know, extremely destructive are the words that a lot of rabbit associations use to describe a rabbit who is lonely or bored, doesn't have enough stimulation, toys, things to do. So I think it's wrong to describe rabbits as being extremely destructive and focus on the destruction they'll do to your home, because that will only serve to put people off free roaming a rabbit. They'll go for cages and hutches instead, which, you know, if that message is about free roaming, that's not the message you want to be giving people. You know, and guys, punishing a rabbit in a small pen they hate for 30 minutes for chewing on some furniture, it's just, to me, the punishment does not fit the crime. It's just excessive. So, you know, my message is, you know, there are ways of dealing with it. A firm no, remove them from that room for a while, give them things to chew on, okay. You know, she says she does give her palm leaf bowls in an emergency. There is another video where she says as standard she gives her palm leaf bowls to chew every day anyway, and by the morning they're gone. So, you know, maybe increase the chew toys, increase the palm leaf bowls, or just be a little bit more chilled out about it. My bedding has several holes in it, but Pom Pom will not chew my son's bedding with patterns. He will choose my bedding, so clearly has a thing about white bedding, white towels that will have holes in them. And, you know, I was a bit kind of first hole, I was a bit kind of like, what has he done? And he wasn't there at the time to tell off. So, you know, I was having a laugh with one of my regular subscribers about it recently when I did a video about it. And I said, you know, perhaps he's just going for the broad rayon maze look, you know, decorating the bedding. So I think, you know, if you are free roaming, you have to loosen up a bit. You have to be a little bit more flexible in the fact that these are animals, essentially wild animals. Okay, they're domesticated, but they have behaviours that are natural to them that we can't always stop by disciplining, scolding, and, you know, the punishment really has to be in line with what they've done. And I think a half an hour in a pen for anything, let alone a little nibble on furniture, is just too much, guys. It's too much. So, you know, you got to love these little ones. You know, Pom Pom he's my baby. He's just over a year old and he's still my baby. So, you know, with my son, you know, he would get told right from wrong, but there has to be a bit of give and take there. You can't always expect them to behave the way you want to in your house. You know, there is a video where she says Cinnabun has chewed on a plastic plant on a low down coffee table. Well, clearly a rabbit's going to go for a plant because it looks like food. So, you know, if you don't want them reaching stuff like that, put them out of harm's way. I would say as well with the naturally woven basket, although Morgan gets upset with Cinnabun for chewing it, it is natural for a bunny to chew that type of material, but also just be careful. They can be coated in things like plastic coating, which obviously isn't safe for rabbits to chew on either. So, from me and Pom Pom, who's just about to have his nap, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye.